I'm Rachel, and this is my affirmative rebuttal to the claim that the legalization of recreational marijuana would be beneficial to the United States. I am responding to the negative constructive that my opponent claimed on this topic. First of all, I think my opponent brought up a lot of really interesting points in regard to the global impact, how medical marijuana and recreational marijuana is sort of a muddied topic, and how the effect can be hazardous to its users. The first point that I would like to address would be in regard to the global impact. My opponent discussed how the global perspective was detrimental to Mexican farmers and cartels due to the fact that Mexican farmers fear for their life when they give their products to cartels. A big reason that this was brought up was because the product being more available to grow in the United States, other countries would not receive the economic benefit. I would like to counteract this point by a research article that I found entitled 3 Months After Marijuana Legalization, Here's What's Happening to Mexican Cartels, according to news.mic. The article claimed that farmers aren't just sitting back and resigning themselves to failure. They're drastically changing their growing habits. Authorities are seeing a dramatic number of poppy seed farms emerging, replacing what used to be marijuana farms. In turn, the poppy seed farms make heroin that is sent up to the United States. The heroin is often being used for many medical purposes prescribed by doctors. The article also claimed that selling heroin proved to be more of a profitable venture for farmers and cartels. This information proves that Mexican farmers and cartels are becoming very adaptable due to the change in legalization that has already happened in the United States. They would not have to be fearful of cartels if they had found an alternative option that would still prove them profitable, which they had. My second contention that I would like to address in my opponent's speech would be in regard to his debate over medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. I would just like to restate my definition of recreational for the sake of this debate. I claim that recreational referred to something that people do to relax or have fun, activities that are done for enjoyment. I had stated in my original argument that recreationally, people use marijuana to relax. That is clearly written in my definition that I had stated. My opponent brought up that I had talked about medical uses of marijuana. I just wanted to clear that up. I had stated that it had the potential to treat people with seizures. Key word in the sentence, it had the potential. Recreationally, if people use marijuana enough, the long-term effects could help cure chronic illnesses. Finally, my opponent had argued that marijuana has negative effects on the people in the United States. He had used the comparison of cigarettes with tobacco inside establishments and how it is detrimental to U.S. citizens. He had talked about the possibility of this happening if marijuana were so legalized. In Colorado, marijuana had reached legal status, and according to the Denver Post, Amendment 64, which is the amendment through which marijuana was proven legal in Colorado, stated that marijuana cannot be consumed in public places. This evidence shows that the government has already put into action what to do to protect the public if they so choose to smoke the drug. In conclusion, I believe that the points I have brought up today have proven that marijuana would be incredibly beneficial to the United States. I have counteracted a lot of my opponent's points, proving that there is more good than harm that comes from this drug. I would like to close by restating that marijuana would be incredibly beneficial to the economy, to our law enforcement procedures, which I would like to point out are points that my opponent did not attack in his speech, so he must agree with them. And finally, with providing a stronger well-being for the American public. I believe that the arguments that I have behind my points are very strong. And that is why I believe I should win this debate.